Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Dear students, as you know, we have completed almost half part of the chapter deep water by William Douglas. So far we came to know the childhood incident of William Douglas when he got the aversion to water and when misadventure happened, what he thought during drowning, or a series of emotions what he did to save himself. We came through with the point, the aversion to water, when he was only 3 to 4 years old. And his father took him to the beach at California. And they were standing in the surf. At that time, a big wave came and knocked William Douglas down. It swept over him. He buried underwater, and at that time he got the aversion to water. So dear students, the first incident is very important. You have to learn, you have to remember that what was the aversion to water, and at that time what was the exact age of William Douglas. And second, the misadventure. Misadventure had happened when William Douglas was almost 10 to 11 years old. And one day he was alone at the YMCA swimming pool. At that time, a big boy came there, probably 18 years old, and he tossed William Douglas into the deep end of the pool. He nearly drowned in the incident. What happened after that? While he was drowning, what was his thinking? He just, make a plan that whenever he hit the bottom, he would certainly take a big jump upwards and may lie flat on the surface of the water and may survive. Eventually, it seems very good, but the execution was very hard. He can't execute all these things. In upcoming passages, while we are going to read word by word, we came to know about the role of instructor and how William Douglas, overcame the fear of water. How he overcame the fear of water. So let's see. I struck at the water as I went down. You have to open your textbook and we take a look. I struck at the water, okay, as I went down, expending my strength as one in a nightmare fights in as an irresistible force. Nightmare, a frightening dream, डराने वाला सपना जिस प्रकार से होता है, ठीक उस प्रकार की फीलिंग वहां पर उसकी. I had lost all my breath. My legs ached. My head throbbed. I was getting dizzy. But I remembered the strategy. I would spring from the bottom of the pool and came like a cork to the surface. What he had to do? There was a very simple task in front of him. He had no choice at all. Only one thing he had to do, that whenever his feet hit the bottom, he would take a big spring upward and may survive. That was the strategy, that was the planning. I would lie flat on the surface, strike out my arms and test with my legs, then I would get up the edge of the pool and be safe. I went down endlessly. I opened my eyes, nothing but water with a yellow glow, dark water that one could not see flow. And then stark seized me. Only A very typical type of terror seized me. Terror that knows no understanding, terror that knows no control, that no one can understand who has not experienced it. जिसने इसको एक्सपीरियंस किया है केवल वही इसके बारे में थोड़ा बहुत आकलन कर सकता है. I was sinking, crying, चीखना. Sinking means चीखना, चिल्लाना, cry, underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, rigged with fear. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. यहाँ तक कि चीखने की जो आवाज थी वो भी मेरे गले के अंदर जो जम गई थी, रुक गई थी. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was still alive. There was the sign that I was still alive, and that was the throbbing in my head, pounding in my heart. जो चहलकदमी हो रही, एक तरीके से थोड़ी सी धड़कन जो चल रही थी, उसकी वजह से ये अनुमान लगाया जा सकता था कि I was still alive. And then in the midst of the terror came a touch of reason. What do you mean by touch of reason? Touch of reason means युक्ति सूझना. अचानक से मुझे एक युक्ति सूझी, एक बात समझ आई. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. I must remember, मुझे निश्चय ही याद रखना होगा, to jump लेना, when I hit the bottom, जब मैं तलहटी से मेरे पैर टकराएं तो जो मुझे निश्चित तौर पर जंप लेना याद रखना होगा. At last I felt the tiles under me. My toes reached out as to grab them. I jumped with everything I had. I jumped with everything I had means the power, the strength I possessed. I, take full effort to take the jump so that I may survive. But the jump made no difference. But the jump made no difference. उस जंप से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा. जो फर्स्ट जंप था, he was able to put out his nose, mouth, and he was able to inhale. He was able to inhale. लेकिन अब की बार फिर से उसने जंप लिया, लेकिन इसमें बताया गया कि जंप made no difference. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings, nothing but water. A mass of yellow water helped me. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me like a great charge of electricity. Like a great charge of electricity. जिस प्रकार से करंट जो है वो कैप्चर करता है, पकड़ता है, ठीक उसी प्रकार से जो ओवरपावरिंग फोर्स थी वेव्स की, वो उसको अपने में समेटे हुए थी. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. I tried to my best to save. कहता है I called for mother, cried for mother. माँ याद आती है डूबते वक्त. Nothing happened. लेकिन इसका कोई भी फायदा नहीं था. And then strangely there was light. I was coming out full yellow water. Full means fearful. At least my eyes were, my nose was almost out too. एक बार फिर से मेरी नाक जो थी, माउथ जो था, वो पानी से बाहर आ गया था. Then I started down a third time. तीसरी बार मैंने फिर नीचे जाना शुरू किया. I sucked for air. Here sucked means to inhale. मैंने inhale करना चाहा, सांस लेनी चाहिए. And got water, but failed to do so. ऐसा नहीं कर पाया. Got water, the yellowish light was going out. Now जो yellowish light वहां पर थी, वो भी एक तरीके से जा चुकी थी. Then all effort ceased. I relaxed. Even my legs felt limp. Limp means lifeless. Here limp means lifeless हो जाना, निर्जीव हो जाना. And a blackness means darkness, swept over my brain. It wiped out fear, it wiped out terror. There was no more panic. It was quiet and peaceful. इसने भय को हटा दिया था, आतंक को हटा दिया था. अब कोई और पैनिक नहीं था. सब जगह अब शांति थी. Nothing to be afraid of. डरने की कोई बात नहीं लग रही थी. There is nice to be drowsy. Drowsy means dozing. To go to sleep. No need to jump. Too tired to sleep. It is nice to be carried gently, to float along in space. tender arms around me, tender arms like mothers. Now I must go to sleep. ये जो विवरण दिया गया है, ये पूरा विवरण बिफोर गोइंग इन ऑब्लिवियन, विस्मृति को पार करने से पहले का है, एक अनकॉन्शियस स्टेट में जाने से पहले का है. आई क्रॉस टू ऑब्लिवियन एंड द कर्टन ऑफ लाइफ फेल, जीवन रूपी पर्दा गिर गया. The next I remember I was lying on the stomach beside the pool, vomiting. The chap boy that threw me in was saying, but I was only making fun or fooling. Someone said the kid nearly died. In this situation, someone said the kid was nearly died. Be all right now. Let's carry him to the locker. उस बच्चे ने, जिसने उसको फेंका था, डीप एंड ऑफ द पूल में फेंका था, उसने क्या कहा कि आई वॉज फुली. The kid nearly died. Be all right now. Let's carry him to the locker. Several hours later, I walked home. I was weak and trembling. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. जब भी बेड के ऊपर बैठता था, चिल्लाता था. I couldn't eat that night. उस रात मैंने कुछ नहीं खाया. For days, a haunting fear was in my heart. Haunting means कहेंगे coming again and again. Haunting means coming again and again was in my heart. The slightest means a little bit. Exertion means tiring, थकावट, upset me, making me wobbly in the knees and sick to my stomach. I never went back to the pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of the cascade, cascades, waterfall, जलप्रपात के बारे में जब मैंने सुना, I wanted to get into them. मैं उनमें जाना चाहता था. Cascades में जाना, to go into the cascades was a childhood cravings, और उस craving को वो पूरा करना चाहता था. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of the cascade, I wanted to get into them, and whenever I did, whether I was wearing the Titan or bumping river, or bathing in warm lake, or got rocks, the terror that had seized me in the pool would come back. It would take possession of me completely. My legs would become paralyzed, and icy horror would grab my heart. वेडिंग को कहेंगे वॉकिंग थ्रू वाटर. जब भी मैं जाने का प्रयास करता, चाहे वो वार्म लेक की बात हो या दूसरी जगह बम्पिंग रिवर की बात हो, कहीं पर भी मैं जाता था, वो बार बार जो पुल के ऊपर आने वाला भय था, वही मुझे वापस जकड़ लेता था. दिस हैंडीकैप, हैंडीकैप मीन्स पंगुता. ये पंगुता, हैंडीकैप, stayed with me as the years rolled by, in canoes on main lakes, fishing for landlocked salmon, bass fishing in New Hampshire, trout fishing in the deserts and metroless origin, fishing for salmon in Colombia, at Bumping Lake in the Cascades. Wherever I went, the haunting fear of the water followed me. It ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of knowing boating and swimming. ये यहाँ पर जितनी भी टाइप दी गई हैं, these are the kind of fish. ओके, जैसे भी मैं प्रयास करता मुझे कि मैं नौकायन कर सकूं, तैराकी कर सकूं, छोटी डोंगियों में जा सकूं, ये सारी की सारी चीजें, इनमें जाना मेरे लिए बहुत दूर की बात थी. बिकॉज ऑफ ड्यू टू दैट फियर, पानी के उस भय की वजह से. I used every way I know to overcome this fear, but it held me firmly in its grip. I tried to my best to resolve the problem, but it was, in the heart of the writer Douglas, but it held me firmly in its grip. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week. 5 days a week, एक सप्ताह में 5 दिन तक अभ्यास किया. An hour each day, प्रत्येक दिन 1 घंटे. The instructor put a belt round me. A rope attached to the belt went through a pulley that run on an overhead cable. एक रस्सी बांधी गई, उसको घिरनी से जोड़ा गया और उस घिरनी के आगे की रस्सी को लेखक जो है खुद पकड़ के रखता था, इंस्ट्रक्टर पकड़ के रखता था. He held on the end of the rope and we went back and forth across the pool, hour after hour, day after day, week after week. On each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under. Some of the old terror returned and my legs froze. जब भी इंस्ट्रक्टर अपनी ग्रिप को थोड़ी सी लूज करता, मैं पानी में जाता और फिर से वापस वही पुराना भय लौट करके आ जाता. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. 3 महीने लग गए कि थोड़ी सी टेंशन स्लैक होनी शुरू हुई. Then he taught me to put my face under water and exhale and to raise my nose and inhale. मैं exhale inhale को ढंग से कर पाऊँ. You know, it is the very important thing in swimming to inhale and exhale. The process of inhale and exhale was being taught by the instructor. Then he taught me to put my face under water and exhale and to raise my nose and inhale. I repeated the exercise hundreds of times. Bit by bit, I shed part of the panic that seized me when my head went under water. Okay? Next, he held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. आगे जो उसने प्रोसेस किया वो क्या था कि वो मुझे उस पुल के किनारे पर पकड़ता and asked me to kick in the water. पानी में किक मारने के लिए. For weeks, कई सप्ताह तक I did just that. At first my legs refused to work. First my legs refused to work. उन्होंने काम करने से मना कर दिया. Means वो ज़्यादा रिलैक्स महसूस नहीं कर रहे थे. But they gracefully relaxed and finally I could command them. And at last I may command them. Thus piece by piece he built a swimmer, and when he had perfected each piece he put them together into an integrated wall. और जब प्रत्येक पीस में पार्ट में छोटे छोटे पार्ट में उसने उसको स्विमिंग सिखाई इंस्ट्रक्टर ने, और जब प्रत्येक पार्ट को ठीक कर दिया तो उसको एक यूनिट में इंटीग्रेटेड कर दिया, जोड़ दिया, एक यूनिट में तब्दील कर दिया. How did the instructor build a swimmer out of Douglas? This is the important question from this chapter. How did the instructor made a perfect swimmer out of Douglas? You know, instructor taught him 5 days in a week and 1 hour each day. And what he did specifically, he just taught him into swimming in various parts. First, he taught him how to inhale and how to exhale. Inhale कैसे करना है, exhale कैसे करना है, सांस कैसे छोड़ना है, कब छोड़ना है, सांस कब लेना है. What he did exactly? He put a belt around William Douglas. Douglas के जो है कमर पर उसने एक रस्सी को बांधा, उसको एक घिरनी से जोड़ा और केबल के साथ उसको बाहर से पकड़े रखा और धीरे धीरे उसको जो है मूव करने के लिए कहा गया. जब प्रत्येक पीस में प्रत्येक आर्ट में उसने उसको सबल कर दिया तो फिर उसको एक यूनिट के अंदर जोड़ दिया. एंड यू नो, ही आल्सो प्रोवाइड ए स्पेशल एक्सरसाइज. ही आस्क्ड हिम टू थ्रेश हिज लेग्स इन वाटर टू रिलैक्स हिज legs. I did. Thus piece by piece he built a swimmer, and when he had perfected each piece he put them together into an integrated whole. In a prayer he said, now you can swim, dive off and swim to the length of the full crawl stroke. Here you must have to remember the role of instructor. What was the role of instructor here? उसने कैसे उसको स्विमिंग सिखाई? You know, instructor made Douglas a perfect swimmer, piece by piece. He taught him the special exercise. He taught him, 5 days in a week, 1 hour each day. He put a belt around Douglas and take it to a pulley, and he just grabbed the rope at the end of the one side and asked him to move to swim either side of the pool. That was the specific exercise. And after that, he asked William Douglas to thresh his legs in water. And thus, piece by piece, William Douglas made the instructor a perfect swimmer. I did, the instructor was finished, but I was not finished. Very important. Here maybe the question asked that I was finished. The instructor was finished, but I was not finished. इंस्ट्रक्टर का काम पूरा हो गया था लेकिन मेरा काम पूरा नहीं हुआ था। इसका मतलब क्या है कि इंस्ट्रक्टर ने अपनी तरफ से उसको बेहतरीन तैराक बना दिया था, लेकिन उसके मन में ये विश्वास नहीं था कि वो एक अच्छा तैराक बन चुका है, वो उसका काम पूरा नहीं हुआ था अभी। But I was not finished. I still wondered if it would be turtle stricken when I was alone in the pool. ये बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन कि कब जब मैं अकेला पुल पर रहूंगा तो क्या मुझे वो पहले वाला जो भय है वो फिर से लगेगा या नहीं लगेगा। I tried it. I swung the length up and down. टीनी बस्टिस को कहेंगे लिटिल साइन, थोड़े से संकेत of the old terror would return. But now I could frown and say to that terror trying to shackle me, well, here's to you. Look, and off I would go for another length of the pool. जब भी आतंक बीच में आता तो उसको मैं त्योरियां चढ़ा करके कह सकता था कि मुझे डराने का प्रयास करते हो तो ये देखिए, और मैं पूरी दूरी में तैरता हुआ चला जाता। This went on until July तक ये चलता रहा, but I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all the terror had left, so I went to Lake Wentworth. इसलिए वो कहाँ पर गया? लेक वेंटवर्थ पर गया। In New Hampshire, dived off a dock at Triggs Island, गोता लगाया ट्रिग्स आइलैंड से, and swam 2 miles across the lake at Stamp Act तक तैराकी करते हुए पहुंच। I swam the travel, breaststroke, side stroke and backstroke. Only once did the turn return when I was in the middle of the lake. केवल एक बार भय वापिस लौट करके आया जब मैं लेक के बीच में था। I put my face under water and saw nothing but bottomless water. The old sensation returned in miniature. Miniature means small portion. Small part के अंदर थोड़ा सा पुराना भय था, वो वापिस लौट करके आ गया, लेकिन मैंने अपना प्रयास जारी रखा। Yet I had residual doubts. Residual means left over, कुछ बाकी शंकाएं थी। At my first opportunity, I hurried west. मैं west की तरफ गया। Went up to the Toyton to Conrad Meadows, Conrad चारागाह के पास पहुंचा। On the Conrad Creek Trail to Mead Glacier पहुंचा and camped, और वहां पर कैंप लगा दिया, डेरा डाल दिया। In High Meadow, उच्च चारागाह के ऊपर, by the side of Warm Lake के किनारे। The next morning I stripped, अगली सुबह मैंने वस्त्र उतारे, dived into the lake, और लेक के अंदर गोता लगाया, and swam across to the other shore and back. As Doug Carpen used to do. You know about Doug Carpen was a famous swimmer, और इस टाइप की स्विमिंग करने का वो आदी था, इसीलिए वहां इसका नाम दिया गया है, Doug Carpen used to do. I shouted with joy and Gilbert Peak returned to the cove. उनकी ध्वनि वापिस। I had conquered my fear of water. इस प्रकार से मैंने पानी के भय के ऊपर जीत हासिल कर ली थी। The experience had a deep meaning for me. This experience had a deep meaning for me, as only those who have known stark terror and conquered it can appreciate. In death there is peace. There is terror only in the fear of death. Actually, death is peaceful, and the fear of death is the actually thing to matter. As Roosevelt knew when he said, all we have to fear is fear itself, because I had experienced both the sensation of dying. Both experienced what? The sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. The will to live somehow grew intensity. I feel both the things. At last I felt released, free to walk the trails and climb the peaks, and brush aside means set aside, throw aside fear. भय को दूर करने में काम मिलता। So in this way, you know, William Douglas conquered the fear of water. So how he overcame fear of water? कहाँ पर वो गया? वार्म लेक पर उसने क्या किया? कितने मील तक की उसने तैराकी की, और आखिरकार गिलबर्ट पीक के ऊपर चढ़ते हुए उसने जो शंखनाद किया, जो एक तरीके से वो बोला, उसी की प्रतिध्वनि, उसी का इको वापिस उसके पास आया, और उसको लगा कि निश्चित तौर पर उसने पानी के भय के ऊपर जीत हासिल कर ली। Dear students, here on, the chapter is not yet completed. We have to take the questions, important questions from this chapter as well in the next part. So, in the next part, we will certainly take all the important questions from this chapter.